Adam stands at the grocery store's self-checkout, scanning diapers, a carton of almond milk, some quick baby wipes because the little one's teething again. He taps his card, beep, and in those 3 silent seconds after the approval, something invisible shifts. The transaction clears, sure, but way more than money just moved. Someone, your bank, their partners, the whole quiet data machine, now has a fresh, crystal-clear snapshot. New parent, probably sleep-deprived, buying the exact combo that screams, "We just had a kid," or "Another one's on the way." And the gut-punch truth? That single mundane swipe is worth exponentially more to them than the measly 2% interchange fee they collect. They're not banking on the transaction anymore. They're banking on you, the future version of you they're already predicting, pricing, and preparing to sell something to before you even feel the need. That realization hit me harder than I expected. For years, I treated my debit and credit cards like neutral tools. Pay, get points, move on. Banks were boring middlemen. But the longer I paid attention, the clearer it became. They stopped being neutral a long time ago. They're not just holding your money safe anymore, they're constructing the sprawling, intimate behavioral map of your daily existence. What you buy, how often, at what time of day, in what neighborhood, during what season of life. Every data point layers on another until they can forecast your financial weather weeks or months ahead. When you'll be stretched thin enough to accept a high-interest line of credit. When a sudden medical bill might push you into carrying a balance. When life's next big expense is looming and you're most vulnerable to a perfectly timed, pre-approved offer. They see the storm clouds gathering while you're still enjoying the sunshine. Imagine living in a house made entirely of glass, floor-to-ceiling transparency in every room. You go about your routine, cooking dinner, arguing quietly with your partner about bills, scrolling job listings late at night, and someone's outside with a notepad, charting it all. Not because they care about your safety, not to protect you. They're there to spot the exact moment your roof starts leaking so they can be the first to knock on the door selling you an umbrella at a premium. They know the rain is coming because they've tracked every tiny signal, the uptick in pharmacy runs, the drop in restaurant spending, the sudden cluster of gas station stops near a new apartment complex. They don't wait for you to ask for help. They anticipate the desperation and position themselves to profit from it. Here's the part that still twists something inside me. A couple of years ago, I was texting a buddy about a short getaway we were finally booking. Nothing extravagant, just 4 days to breathe. I hadn't opened any travel sites, hadn't priced flights, hadn't even circled dates on the calendar with my wife. Pure casual planning. The next morning, I open my banking app out of habit, and bam, there's a bright, personalized travel loan offer staring back at me. The suggested amount, eerily close to what the trip would actually cost. The interest rate pitched as special for you. The timing? Surgical. I felt exposed in a way that caught me off guard. No search history, no application, just patterns they'd stitched together from weeks of normal spending, maybe a slight dip in groceries here, an extra coffee there, a hotel charge from months earlier that suddenly got weighted differently in their algorithm. It wasn't coincidence, it was calculation, and it made me question every tap I'd made without thinking. So let's break down how they pull this off, because once you see the mechanics, the creep factor loses some of its mystery, but gains a lot in urgency. It starts simple. Every card swipe is a behavioral breadcrumb. Heavy on baby formula and diapers this month? Your inferred life stage score shifts. Family expansion, higher future expenses, lower short-term savings buffer. A cluster of home improvement store visits. They tag recent home purchase or major repair incoming, which correlates with big-ticket borrowing. Regular small charges at the same coffee spot near a shiny new office park. Employment upgrade flagged, income bump assumed, credit worthiness bumped up. They layer in location data if you allow it. time of day patterns, even how consistently you pay on time versus carrying a revolving balance. All of it feeds massive predictive models that score not just your current risk, but your future emotional and financial triggers. They know when you're most likely to say yes to more debt because they've modeled the exact conditions that make no feel impossible. And we keep feeding the machine. Why? Convenience wins most days. Cash is annoying. Rewards feel like free money. The app is slick. Notifications helpful. For 90% of routine life, the card still wins. I get it, I still use mine, but the shift that's made the biggest difference for me isn't drastic lifestyle overhaul, it's just deliberate awareness. Before I accept updated terms, download a new banking feature, or link another account, I force a 5-second pause and ask the raw question: what exact piece of my life are they buying with this permission? Not the sanitized, enhance your experience copy, the real one. My spending rhythm when I'm stressed, my family changes before I announce them, my moments of financial vulnerability. Every swipe becomes a conscious vote. How much more map am I willing to hand over today? If you're on the flip side, maybe you run a small business, build apps, offer any kind of service where data is part of the deal, try this one gut check before you collect anything extra. Picture sitting across from your mom at the kitchen table. Could you look her in the eye and explain, plainly, no jargon, exactly what customer behavior you're taking, why you need it, and how you'll use it? Not the legal privacy policy version, the honest, human one. If you feel even a flicker of hesitation, if your voice catches, pause, rethink. That single mom test has killed more overreaching ideas in my own thinking than any fine print ever has. The boundary between smart service and quiet manipulation isn't always bright line clear. Helpful nudges can slide into steering without anyone noticing. But you feel it when it happens, when the offer arrives not as a suggestion, but as a prediction of your private thoughts. When it feels less like they're helping you and more like they've already decided what you need. That's the crossing point, from partner to puppet master. I keep circling back to this because awareness is the only real shield that doesn't require you to abandon modern life. You don't have to ditch cards, live off-grid, or become suspicious of every transaction. You just stop handing over the map so blindly. You keep the convenience, the rewards, the ease, but you reclaim the surprise factor. The next personalized offer won't blindside you quite as much because you'll see it coming from a mile away. So here's my ask. Next time your card gets flagged for something weird or an offer lands that feels like it peeked into your bedroom, hop in the comments and share. What's the most unsettling thing your bank or any financial app ever seemed to know about you before you did? I'll start. They flagged that I was moving, new address patterns, utility shifts, 3 full months before I mentioned it to anyone close to me. Felt like reading my mail. Your turn. What got you? If this one landed close to home, smash that like so more people see these kinds of quiet truths. And if you want to keep spotting the invisible strings before they pull, hang around. I've got more patterns to unpack. See you soon.